Hey, how's it going, everybody? As you're coming in, feel free to say hi, hello, greetings, salutations, whatever you want to say. Happy to have you guys here, and hopefully today is a good day. It's Sunday. We're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. Excuse me. So super happy to have you guys here, and yeah. So I'm talking Boost Mobile today. Boost Mobile confusing. For sure it is. Boost Mobile has got to be like the most confusing carrier that there is on the market today. But I'm gonna go over just about as much as I know and even ask some of the questions that I don't know the answers to. Just so that way you guys understand, you're not alone. You are absolutely not alone for not knowing enough about Boost Mobile, because I don't think anybody does. Walter, what's going on, man? Welcome. Glad to have you here. Good morning to you as well, Joseph. Good morning. Glad to have you step in. So I do have a sort of, near close to perfect coverage map of native Boost 5G network coverage. Shout out to the folks at Coverage Map. Nian Dang, what's up, man? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. I'm going to be going in on it, and yeah, of course, a lot of the other confusion stuff that goes on with Boost Mobile. So I'll have that screen grab up here in a little bit. Thank you guys for coming in and saying what's up. Please smash the like button. I would greatly appreciate that. And you know what? If you're on Boost Mobile with the T-Mobile network connection and you don't want to be switched over to the AT&T connection or the Boost 5G connection, but you want something similar to what Boost Mobile's offering, then might I suggest you check out Helium Mobile. The QR code to the right of me is pretty much what is going to get you guys your first month for free if you decide to sign up. It runs on the T-Mobile network as well as the Helium network. You can check out my Helium Mobile videos to get more insight as to what Helium Mobile is. But it is unlimited talk and text. It is 30 gigabytes of high-speed data, same as Boost Mobile, for $20 a month. Now, if you're connected to the Helium network in your area, then it is fully unlimited. Like I said, check out my videos to get some insight about how it all works. But this is an offering that I'm sharing out to those on Boost Mobile that have the T-Mobile network access, because Boost Mobile is in fact, going to end its partnership with T-Mobile. And that is the reason why they've been migrating everybody either over to the AT&T network access or onto the Boost 5G access. Helium dropped monthly priority data to 20. No. So that is not true. It is 30 gigs of high-speed data. What they've done is that they've added 28 gigabytes of additional data from what I've read and was researching on that. That is actually going to be a future video this coming week to talk about that. They have added additional 28 gigabytes of data. Reason why is because, 30 gigs, most people can pretty much stay within bounds of 30 gigs of high-speed data. When you have people that have like home internet and everything like that, they really don't top over 30 gigs. But there are some people who do. And the way that Helium Mobile was throttling customers was if you passed 30 gigabytes of data, you were slowed down to 1 megabit per second from when you reached 30 gigs and up to 40 gigs of data usage. Once you pass 40 gigs of data usage, you're slowed down to 512 kilobits per second. Now, the thing about that is that some people will actually go beyond that. So what they've done was they've added where you can add 28 gigabytes of additional data from what I've read that gives you additional high-speed data. So total that you can have on Helium Mobile is 58 gigabytes. Now, it's not free. I believe you do have to pay, which I'll have all that covered once my research is done, and I'll have all that pretty much to explain probably in tomorrow's video. So it'll be a video, not a live stream, but I'll have a video explaining that tomorrow, going over all of it. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. I am a person that always thinks that he's right. If I'm wrong and you're correct, I will let everyone know. But from what I've seen, it's an additional add-on, not a monthly allotment drop. But All that will come tomorrow. Today I'm focusing on Boost Mobile because I am trying to help people pretty much understand um Boost Mobile and all of its stuff. It is really, really, Boost Mobile is really confusing to a lot of people. It really is. Um so I'll do that. Let me get this out of the way. So we don't need a QR code there anymore for the rest of the live stream. But let me just full screen this and you guys can see what I'm seeing here. So we have boostmobile.com. So let's look at the coverage first. Now this is going to be based on Boost 5G network, not AT&T, not T-Mobile. This is just currently right now, and it's this is in my area. This is what shows up for Phoenix all the way down to Tucson. If you want to like a real country map, this is what we're looking at for the United States. This is what we're looking at for the United States for Boost 5G coverage. This is pretty scarce, but as you can see, it hits a lot of like the major city areas. Like I can tell you guys, LA area, whatnot, probably up San Francisco. You got Phoenix and Tucson right here, Las Vegas. You got, man, oh man, I believe Colorado's got some real good coverage up in like the north central east area. You got Texas, looks like around Dallas area. Very, very little bit of parts in Oklahoma. Looks like that little orange dot right there is Lawton, Oklahoma, which is about an hour east of Altus, where I have family at. Florida's pretty saturated. And up in the East Coast is pretty saturated. So this is Boost 5G's map. So Boost doesn't have LTE. So what I'm referring to when I say Boost 5G, it's Dish 5G basically. It's their native O-RAN cloud 5G network they're building. And they don't have LTE as a backup. They're a pure 5G network build. The LTE coverage would depend on if you are on the AT&T connection or the T-Mobile connection for Boost Mobile, which will soon to be just, AT&T only, because Boost will drop their partnership MVNO agreement with T-Mobile coming in the future. But let me just kind of zoom in on Phoenix, where I live. Yeah, this is the city of Phoenix. So you got Glendale, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, Mesa, Phoenix, Avondale, Goodyear, Peoria. So like here, there's not really a lot of places. Well, let me click this square here. Average speeds 206 megabits per second down and 7.28 megabits per second on the uplink. The fastest they've reported there was 399 megabits per second for the downlink, and the fastest upload was 14.5 with a 41 millisecond ping for latency. Yeah, so very, very, very scarce. I mean, I click these squares here to see what we get in these areas. Now, this is downtown area right here. So let's zoom in more. Yeah, there's not a lot of coverage around. That is the reason why that when adding, 3 additional lines onto the Boost Mobile account that I had, all of them were sent the AT&T SIM card, just because you know AT&T is going to be more of the coverage. If I switch it to AT&T, the AT&T is starting to do a good network build out where I live. They've done some upgrades, so there's been better performances. I'm seeing performances like this: 674 on the down, 32.9 on the up. I've been seeing that quite a bit. It's still, obviously I can tell by just the way that the mapping has gone on for this. It's still a little space though, but I'll show you guys Verizon in my area. And then I'll show you guys T-Mobile. And of course, T-Mobile's going to do good in my area because before the merger, Phoenix was really a Sprint market. Sprint did really good here. So naturally, T-Mobile would get a heads up. But this is about right. The average speeds that I see in Phoenix for speed tests, 490 down, 71.8 on the ups, right about what I normally see. I have Keylink Wireless Lifeline. Does anyone know what's going on? What is stand up? Okay, so good question. Let me go ahead and answer this real quick. So the thing that's going on with Keylink Wireless is that Keylink Wireless customers are being migrated over to a different company. The reason why is that the CEO of Keylink Wireless, as well as the company in itself, all have been basically indicted on charges for defrauding the federal government. During the time of the pandemic, they went ahead and issued out false information to the federal government to receive funding from the federal government. As if you guys don't know, the way that these government assisted phones work is those that are like on AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon, on their phone bill, you know how they have like the taxes and fees and surcharges. One of those surcharges is what's used to charge those customers like a tax, and that money is funneled into the Lifeline program. So those people who, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, so don't anybody think that at all whatsoever. But anyone that is on hard times and could use the help and could really benefit from the Lifeline program, which is exactly what it's for, they would be able to have this phone service and not have to pay for it. So the CEO of Keylink Wireless and his associates all have committed fraud, according to the FCC and according to the Department of Justice. So that's the reason why that you may have gotten an email telling you that you have to receive a new SIM card, or you have to switch to eSIM. You would have to, move over to the, it's just because it's a different carrier that is taking over Keylink customers. My Keylink SIM card that I had, that I was using the test to be able to report things on Keylink, has immediately stopped. They had shut down connection to it at all whatsoever. I didn't switch over because I really don't need it, and someone else can benefit from that line. But that's the gist of what went on with them. So yes, yeah, Keylink, lots of criminal activity. Yeah, you know what? It's crazy. It's crazy, how a company that was to be trusted with handling, those folks that needed this Lifeline program and the ACP program, would go as far as to rip off hundreds of millions off the federal government. The crazy thing is that a lot of people were like, being sidelined, laid off, lost their jobs. Small businesses shut down because of lack of business. You know what I mean? And a company that's already making money, right? Because Keylink is, they're not a very poor company. They're making money. They have those that are on the Lifeline program, and then they have those that are literally, using the regular plans, right? Like the unlimited plan for $45, and they had other good packages on there, like global calling. They had a global calling add-on package for $5 a month. That allowed you to call certain countries unlimited. I know this because Thailand was one of the countries that was listed on there, and I used to call my family in Thailand through the Q-Link phone number that I had. So adding that on for $5, that's a pretty damn good deal. So they were making pretty good money. There was no reason for them to rip the country off and say, oh, well, because of hard times. What hard times were they facing? But that's the reason why that happened, Suzanne, was because of all their crap. But anyways, going back to this, yeah. So this is the mapping for T-Mobile. So you guys can see that when it comes down to it, honestly, it's Dish Wireless, Dish connection, not the greatest. Okay, but again, Boost Mobile is the most confusing carrier out there because there are several questions that plagues customers currently today when it comes to Boost Mobile. Okay, one of them is, am I postpaid or am I prepaid? And a lot of us have been trying to give explanations on how that works. And there's like various different answers. Honestly, I've thrown my hands up and I've given up on trying to understand if you're postpaid or prepaid, because every answer that I get from a representative by phone and by chat through the Boost mobile app or calling in, on the phone, I get so many different answers to my question. It's so crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Hang on, let me make sure that this is not make sure this is not signed in because it's saying dashboard here and I don't want to bring up. Okay, no, it's not. Cool. I just gotta make sure that I was not gotta make sure that it wasn't signed in into my account. Don't need anyone grabbing my kids' phone numbers. But yeah, so here are some of the things that they've told me. Okay, just to kind of like just go in on it. Did the head of Q-Link run over his Garner and no, not that I heard of. I didn't hear anything of like that. I know that they defrauded the federal government in funds, and now they owe. The CEO owes, I think, I don't want to say a couple of million, but I know it's just a significant amount of money. Q-Link owes over 100 million to the federal government, and then the CEO personally owes the federal government, I think, like double digits of millions, but it was defrauding the federal government from the Lifeline program. I don't know about that, Robert. That's news to me. If you have a link to the article of that, let us know, like who the news publicator is and everything, or I don't know. Unless you're just joking, then put laughing emojis if you were just cracking jokes. But anyway, so the answer to the question that I got from Boost Mobile was, if you're financing a phone from Boost Mobile, you're postpaid. And if you're on BYOD, you're prepaid. And I was like, but it causes more confusion because then they were like, well, your account has been with us since the stages of beta. So before they went fully public on Boost Infinite, I was one of the beta testers that signed up in the early stages. So because of that, my account stays postpaid, while anybody else that signed up for the $25 plan would be considered prepaid. And so I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, so, if I had a friend of mine sign up with Boost Mobile right now on the exact same plan that I have right now, they would be prepaid. I'll still be postpaid because I've been with Boost Infinite, Boost Mobile for over a year, just about, I want to say. No, 2 years. 2 years I've been with them. So, and then the person was like, yeah, that's exactly how it goes. You are considered postpaid and they would be considered prepaid. So I'm like, wait, that's strange. So then I get another rep that tells me like, oh, if you're on the $60 plan, you're postpaid. If you're on the $25 plan, you're on prepaid. If you're on the $50 plan, you're postpaid. I'm like, okay. Then another rep tells me that it has to do with the phone. If you're BYOD on any of the three plans they have, you're prepaid. If you buy a device from them and finance it, you're postpaid. And then another rep tells me, oh, you got to be on the infinite access for iPhone or infinite access for a Galaxy, and you're postpaid. Everything else is prepaid. So it's like, oh my gosh, like you have so many different answers for Boost Mobile, and like what does one believe? You know, they don't have, like, at least from what I've looked on the website, I've been trying to find it. They don't have a very descriptive literature that tells you what is considered postpaid, what's considered prepaid. They don't. Now, all my years doing customer service, I can tell you one thing: this breeds drama in the future for Boost. Why? I know this will sound kind of petty as we're all sitting here listening and collectively thinking together, but the reality that I know of how customers react to customer service reps. If two neighbors have Boost Mobile on the $25 plan, and let's say person A and person B. Person A is postpaid, person B is prepaid. They're both on a $25 plan, and they have a barbecue and they're hanging out, and then they decide to just talk about phone service, because why not? That's something that we all do at barbecues nowadays, I guess. I don't know. Hypothetically speaking, it's going to cause drama, because if person A is like, oh, my bill was due yesterday on Boost Mobile, but they do give me a 10-day leeway, because you do have a 10-day leeway. If your bill is due today, you have 10 days from today to pay your bill if you're postpaid Boost Mobile. If you're prepaid Boost Mobile, you're shut off today. You gotta pay your bill. So person A says, I got a 10-day leeway. Person B is gonna think, oh, well, then I should have a 10-day leeway. So then when they don't pay their bill when it's due, their phone gets disconnected. They call in to Boost Mobile, and then they start yelling at the rep, and the rep's going to explain, well, sir, person B, I do apologize, that you've been misled information, but you're on prepaid, and prepaid doesn't have a 10-day leeway to pay your bill. You must pay your bill in order for your services to resume. Person B is going to be like, well, my next door neighbor, person A, his bill was due on the day, and he had 10 days to be able to pay it, and they didn't shut off his phone. And then that rep, because they can't see the other person's account, is going to go off of just straight knowledge, and probably tell them, well, I assume that your neighbor's a postpaid customer. What's the difference? Now that rep's got to explain the difference, but when the rep starts to explain the difference, customers don't listen. Anytime an explanation is being given and it's lengthy, customers don't listen, because as soon as you finish explaining everything, they hit you with that, well, I don't care, your policies suck, and you guys are stupid. No, I want what he got. And that's really where they go from there. So this is why I say Boost Mobile's got to knock it off with the confusion. We already heard that the deal with Dish Network and DirecTV is not happening, at least from the last that I've heard from Sneed. Shout out to Sneed if he's still here, and maybe he can throw a chat in real quick and let everyone know, has things changed? Did the deal go through, or is it still done? But the sad case point with Boost Mobile and their confusion. That's one of the confusions that they have. What's up, Gil? That's one of the confusions that they have. So that is going to give people headaches. It was already bad enough that you have Boost Mobile, Boost Infinite. That confused the shit out of people. And when Boost Mobile prepaid customers called, they would end up connecting to a Boost Infinite customer service rep who, we can see prepaid customers' account. No-go. All right, confirmed. The deal with DirecTV and Dish Network is a no-go. It's not happening. So all that debt that Dish has, that's, oh my God. Oh, we'll see what happens from this point on, because that was like the Hail Mary that EchoStar needed. They needed Dish Network to be bought. They needed that debt they had, the loan. They needed that to be taken by DirecTV and them. to alleviate them, to allow them to push forward, to continue building out the Boost 5G network, to continue expanding, and whatever else they were going to do with Boost Mobile. But I don't know. We'll have to see now what happens. For those people who's going to jump and be like, oh my God, they're going to shut down. No, don't jump the gun yet. Let's not put the cart before the horse. Let's wait and let's see what happens. But it doesn't look good for Boost. And Boost Mobile was really at some point even talks of satellite phone communications, right? Things that we're starting to hear a lot of, right? Like T-Mobile, if you're a T-Mobile customer, you're able to do that with your iPhone on the T-Mobile network. If you're out in the wilderness, you can satellite SMS emergencies and stuff like that. And other carriers are starting to look into those, as a viable option, right? Apple has even talked about going, sat phone with their iPhones in the future. I mean, Apple's got a lot of things coming down the road. Have you guys heard about the iPhone 17 Air? I thought there were, and when I saw the iPhone 17 Air, this is a side note thing, but when I saw the iPhone 17 Air, I was like, okay, this is going to replace the SE. It's not. Even though it has one camera sensor on the back of it, and it's like so much thinner than the iPhone 16. $1,300 for the iPhone 17 Air. Like, yeah, no, you can keep that, Apple. You can keep it, Apple. That's like selling apples for $1 and Apple and they come up with Apple Crisps, and they're selling you Apple Crisps for $2. Like, no, keep it. I mean, that's my early analysis of the iPhone 17 Air. But Boost Mobile has a lot of confusion that they give to customers. And that's really, honestly, if anyone disagrees with me, disagree with me and comment why. But I feel like this is one of the biggest reasons why Boost Mobile has hate. It seems like, and this is why people say that they don't know what they're doing. When you have this type of confusion, you look like you don't know what you're doing. And people would just rip apart, and word of mouth travels fast. I can give like 10 different things that makes Boost Mobile bad and post that as a YouTube Shorts. And if my YouTube Shorts gets millions of views, about 10,000 people are going to agree with exactly what I say. Not because they actually agree with what I say, it's because I said it and they want to ride on that wave. They have maybe like one or two personal things against Boost Mobile. So they take my reasonings and they amplify it for them as their reasonings why they don't like Boost. Word of mouth travels. So when you have a lot of people that are really frustrated and really confused about Boost Mobile as a company, and they take to social media to tell people, hey, don't sign up with Boost Mobile. They ripped me off for this. They ripped me off for that. A lot of people are going to feel the same way, not because of personal experience, but because of like Stockholm syndrome type thing. No, not Stockholm syndrome. That's if you fall for Boost. But, like, what is that one effect that, where everyone experiences the same thing? Apple, innovation goes. Yeah, it'll be interesting on how many people hype up the iPhone 17 Air. It'd be very interesting, I want to see how many people tell me that the iPhone 17 Air is the best phone ever. And then they give us that speech. Why do you need 3 cameras when the iPhone 17 Air can do everything that those 3 can do in one? That's gonna be one of the pitches. Mark my words. That's gonna be one of the pitches for the iPhone 17. All right. Deja vu. Yeah, kind of deja vu. Boost Mobile operates short-sighted, no future-looking considerations. They will miss $1 trying to pick up a penny. Yeah, that's pretty much how they are. They shoot themselves in the foot. So can a lot of people agree with me on that? Can a lot of people agree with me on the fact that, Boost Mobile is absolutely confusing? Even today, even when they try to simplify things, merging brand names and, trying to blur the line between postpaid and prepaid, and, does anyone think they've made anything clearer to anybody? I vote no. No, they haven't. And, and they don't like to clear anything up. You know, a buddy of mine just got termed last month. Just got termed last month from working with Boost Mobile, Boost Infinite, because he took his time to explain things to people the best as possible, and they got mad at him because he was taking too much time on the phone. But it's like, but you guys create all this confusion, and you expect people to just know and figure out what exactly you're saying, and it's really not that. People really genuinely don't know what the hell's going on here. Like, they have a promotion. Let me see if I can find it. We'll shop deals for Black Friday. Right, so you have all these deals right here. They don't look that promising. And then prepaid cell phone deals, like, oh my god, how do you know the difference? Again, how do you know the difference? What's prepaid and what's postpaid? How do you know the difference with Boost Mobile? They don't really say. And here's the one right here. Okay. So buy 2 or 3 lines, get 50% off the second line, or third line free for 1 year. Right? So weird. It's so weird because on Boost Mobile there's 5 lines. Boost has no identity, for sure. I think right now, if you were to piece, like, if I was to use monsters as an analogy, right? I would go out on a whim and say that, Verizon, werewolf, T-Mobile, vampire, AT&T's the mummy. And Boost would be the Frankenstein monster made up of different body parts because they're trying to adapt things from different carriers, but they don't execute it right. Anyways, so you have all these things going on. Free service included, free year of service, no contract, no trade-in, with our unlimited $25 forever when you buy an eligible 5G phone. In-store Black Friday deals. I went over this on the last video, but Black Friday is November 29th. So I think that's one of the things. Where's that plan? Or where's that thing? Right here. This right here. Cell phone plan discounts, and on any of the Black Friday things, they should post it. Because people are going to see this, explore for Black Friday deals for iPhones, right? Any customer is going to sit there and say, oh, these are available. They're going to go in and try to order this. And I will tell you right now, sales reps with Boost is terrible. If you tell them, I want the iPhone 15 today, like you called, ordered, and you're like, I'm porting my number over. I want the iPhone 15 on the unlimited premium plan. And if you were to ask them and say, am I getting it for $449? They're going to tell you yes. They're going to tell you yes. And then after that, you're going to make that order, and you're probably not going to get billed $449. You'll probably be billed to $729.99. So that's crazy. Hey, that's. Oh, you know what? Now that you're talking about that, Robert, I just thought about it. You know what? I think you're right. That is one of the things I think that was mentioned about in the article that talked about the CEO of Q-Link defrauding the federal government and stealing hundreds of millions. I think that was mentioned in there, that he also had another issue going on, personal issue. So yeah, I mean, no matter what, right, Robert, he's going away for a long time. They should become the BOGO carrier. Buy one line, get the second line 50% off. 100 gigabytes on device data, 100 gigabyte hotspot data. I mean, they're a little bit giving, but I can see why they're a little bit giving. They really lack network connections. At least in my city, they're still very scarce over here. No video restrictions, so you can watch things in 4K. Burn up that data if you're able to use it. Because in my Facebook group page, that's probably one of the biggest things that people talk about in the group that I chat with on Facebook, and that's when they're on the native Boost 5G, their coverage is really bad, and their phone, like their audio phone service Like making phone calls is super staticky. Some people say that it's fantastic. They love it. And I'm like, I'm happy that they love it and they're enjoying it. But yeah. But anyways, back to my point. It doesn't tell you when the Black Friday deal begins here. Like you have to go all the way to the bottom to the FAQs. And then you got to go and click on it. When is Black Friday? November 29th. I'm like, oh shit. So if you got an iPhone ordered right now, you're probably not going to get it on that deal. And FYI for a lot of people, right? Customer service, okay? Tier 1 customer service, Boost Mobile, outsourced from the US. I can confirm that. Tier 4 customer service, in-house, US based. That's just confirmation for people. I might actually pick this phone up. I know it's like hella cheap, right? $9 for it. Prepaid cell phone deals. So the Summit 5G, do I expect it to be fantastic? No. But I do want to see that if you can't afford, a flagship phone or a high mid-range phone, and you can't afford a used flagship from 3 years ago, and you decide to go with a brand new device that's $999, like what would you expect from it? I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys want me to grab the Summit. If so, I'll probably grab it next month or somewhere around there. Give away 3 months of Sling for free. $19 monthly for the rest of the year. Why not, right? That's like one of the things that's like added in today. Video streaming subscriptions where you can watch, movies and, TV series and stuff like that. I had someone message me the other day and they were like, oh yeah, dude, check out on Amazon Prime, check out Cruel Intentions, the TV series. And I'm like, wait, they made a TV series? Like, whatever. I'm not into that type of stuff. But yeah, I know this tactic. I know why they didn't put, not even up here where it says 2024 Boost Mobile Black Friday phone deals, why they didn't put begins 11/29. Because they're hoping that people just see this Black Friday deals, see these, rush and hit shop now and start beginning to sign up and port over. Okay, they have to try and bring in as much money as possible. I don't even think they're in the black right now. I think they're still in the red. They're still not making enough money off what they're doing. In a word to Boost Mobile, who likes to actively watch my stuff, you'll never find out where I'm getting some of the info from. You'll never catch me, coppas. You'll never catch me. All jokes aside, this is another thing. So if there's a word I could use to describe Boost Mobile currently today and from their actions of the past, there's one word that I would use to describe Boost Mobile, and that is deceptive. Very, very, very deceptive. And look, because I know some people look at stuff like this and like if they love Boost Mobile, they'll become Boost Mobile Knights. They'll get their power coins and magically morph. It's morphin' time. Boost Mobile. And like come to defend. You don't need to defend Boost Mobile. I don't hate the company. I don't hate Boost Mobile. I've championed them for years because they are a pillar from the prepaid community. If you go way back before, when smartphones was just a beginning thing and everyone was getting excited for HTCs and iPhone and Samsung Galaxy and all that. But even before then, when you had like the LG Rumor Touch, right? Like slide out QWERTY keyboard feature phones. There was only a few prepaids that were out there on the market. Boost Mobile, Cricket Wireless, Metro PCS. You had Alltel Wireless that had a prepaid side, which was pretty good. You had what were some of the other ones? And you had Virgin Mobile USA. You had Sprint Prepaid. You had a lot of different prepaid companies, but Boost Mobile has been around for a long, long, long time. This is why when Sprint and the T-Mobile merger happened, and I was like, what's the fate of Boost Mobile? Because you guys can go through my YouTube channel, go back to 2010, 2011, 2012. You're going to see a lot of Boost Mobile videos, phones that I unboxed and reviewed, phones that I've, rooted and modified and added custom ROMs to. So yeah, Boost Mobile Nights. Yeah. Yeah. The Boost Mobile Rangers. Boost Mobile Power Rangers. Yeah, I can see them all now. One Morse, IDEN Network. The other one, CDMA. 4G LTE. 5G. They call their Zords and everything CTE Boost Max. There are people who think that I hate Boost Mobile. I don't. I don't hate Boost Mobile. But I want them to knock off all this stuff, this confusion that they cause, That's one thing I really wish. They just fly straight with people. Fly straight with the American people. Fly straight. If they want to be, a carrier, I mean, Sneed's been dropping a lot of hints on things they can do to make themselves competitive and, attracting, right? One thing they definitely got to do is just freaking, just make it simplified for people. Boost Mobile, postpaid. Boost prepaid, right? Just name the prepaid side prepaid, split them again. Don't mash them all together. And yes, for those people who don't know, if you're going to try and upgrade to the iPhone 16, you might want to hold off on that. Boost Mobile currently has a huge back order for iPhone 16 Pros. And I think the bigger model of the iPhone 16. The regular iPhone 16, I think in certain colors, they still have available. If you upgrade, you'll get yours shipped out to you. But if you're doing like the iPhone 16 Plus or the Pro models, they're on back order. So even if you set up your return to get the newer iPhone because you're on the Infinite Access for iPhone plan, you are in fact going to have to wait. There is a back order on them. If that's changed, I'll drop a comment and update people, or I'll drop a shorts. I'm really liking to start to just make shorts just for the quick things I want to say that doesn't require 10 minutes of video time or a live stream. They have leadership problems. Philosophy is absent. There's no stability. Yeah, you know what? They should just boot out who is CEO of the company and put someone that has a good mindset, good business etiquette, a backbone, and overall great leadership skills, and put that person in place. Krogan could run a company like that. Yeah, Boost is oh my god, man, Boost is terrible right now. They're really terrible. They're really terrible. I think this is probably the best magic trick of all time. David Copperfield, what's that magician? David Blaine, is that his name too? Anyways, yeah, the masked magician. Houdini. I mean, none of those men can light a candle to the magic that Boost Mobile does. And I'm not saying that in the best way possible. The fact that they're able to still be around, the fact that they're able to do all the things that they're doing, and they're just, man, they're living on a prayer, right? Bon Jovi wrote that song for Boost Mobile. He foreseen it in the future. They're living on a prayer, man, because they're still around. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, that's obviously that is That is absolutely true. They don't know it that well. I mean, they know how to sell packages, right? They sell TV packages. And while there are differences between, you know, satellite TV and mobile phone communication services, selling a package not that different. The problem is it's not so much that they don't know how to run a phone business. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I agree. But I think the true core to that is that they don't know customers. That's the problem. They're not listening to customers. Yeah, I know they didn't get enough iPhones in, but still, you know, that I mean, when it comes to business, right? If I'm running Boost Mobile and let's say I am first wave getting 1,000 iPhone 16s, okay? I know that's not going to be enough for my user base when I have 10,000 subscribers to infinite iPhone access, and maybe like 5,000 that use the Boost Up program. If I don't have enough to cover every subscriber, whether they all upgrade or not, if I don't have enough, I don't think it's the time to really kind of like push for it. You know what I mean? You have them advertising it on social media. I see ads on Hulu for Boost Mobile, infinite access for iPhone, upgrade today, do this, do that, iPhone 16, but Apple Intelligence. And I'm like, people are going to go and they're going to listen to that. They're going to go do it. Now what? You got to be one of the first 1,000 people to get your order in order to actually receive a device, and everybody else has got to be on back order. How many people like waiting? None. Especially when it comes to iPhones, when it comes to Pixels, when it comes to Samsung Galaxy devices. If you're able to upgrade, nobody likes to wait. Nobody wants to wait. They would rather, some prefer to go into a store and go walking out with their new phone same day. All right, raise your hand if you agree with me. Most people would rather come walking out. This is the reason why that when I buy used devices, I go with OfferUp. I go straight to the seller, whether it's a private seller or a cell phone shop business in Phoenix. But I use OfferUp because I want to walk home with that device. So I meet up with the person who's selling an iPhone 11 Pro Max. All right, I take a look at their body language. Lets me know if something's shady about them. I examine the phone. I pop my SIM inside of it. I always carry a SIM toolkit, key with me to put my SIM card into the phone to test it out. I test out the cameras. I test out of it. It takes me 20 minutes to purchase a phone on OfferUp used from a private seller. And I let them know too in the chat before we meet up, like, hey, I'm going to test out the phone. So it may be like 15, 20 minutes that, we're going to meet up. And they'll tell me, oh, yeah, I can wait. I have all the time in the world. Okay, cool. If the person's like, oh, no, I got to be at work, so I only have like 5 minutes. Well, I'll schedule to meet up later. This is this is the thing that most customers feel. They want to walk out with a working device. If they have to do it through order and shipment, they want to know that the phone is shipped out the same day they place the order. They don't want to wait. No, I get it, Titus. I get it. That there's back orders. Totally. I get it. What I'm addressing about back orders and stuff like that is not only a Boost Mobile thing. It's with any company. If T-Mobile did this, I would, I'd rip them too. And, T-Mobile has done this before. I ripped them for it. If Helium Mobile started selling more phones and they did this, I would rip them too. Trust me. You know what I mean? I like things that phone services offer. Like I like what Helium Mobile offers, which is why I stay with them. There's things of Mobile X that I like. There's things of Boost Mobile that I like. You know what I mean? But they do things, and when they do things wrong, I gotta call them out on it. You know what I mean? My channel is not based to be a Boost Mobile fan, a Helium Mobile fan, a Mobile X fan. That's not what my channel is based on. My channel is based on is talking about things that I feel that are going on, in the mobile tech space today, and bringing up those thoughts and comments, and letting other people feel like that they can openly talk about it in a space where they're not going to be judged. Because that's one thing about this chat. I won't let people judge other people and start arguments in the chat. I'll just ban your ass off the channel for good. Everyone can clearly say what they want to say about Boost, about Verizon, about Spectrum, about T-Mobile, AT&T. No loyalty here. I'm only loyal to myself, not to Boost, not to Helium, not to any of them. I'm loyal to myself. I want what's going to work for me. That's the true gist of it at the end of the day. So, you know, and honestly, in my area, AT&T's been doing a little bit better, which is why like all the kids have been migrated onto the Boost mobile plan, which is so funny because I have them fixing my bill. Adding on, additional lines on your Boost mobile account right now, they have a promo running where like the first month is going to be $10. So 3 lines I added, that's $30. That's added onto my bill, that's $40. I mean, my bill for 5 lines coming up is going to be $70. After that, it's going to be $125 every month for 5 lines. Well, about $128, give or take taxes. And that's totally fine. Right now, I can say that with the AT&T network, they've been doing pretty decent. I know some people will be like, well, you could go to Cricket and get like unlimited. You could pay $300 a line and get unlimited for a whole year. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Secondly, I don't want fully unlimited for my kids because they need to learn to scale back on phone usage. I keep that in check that way. So I don't mind the limitations on that. And I have home Wi-Fi where I do most of my things anyway, so I don't mind that. When I leave the house, I barely live stream. Maybe every now and then when I'm bored, I'll get on the live on my phone and chat with everybody. That's about it. Exactly. You said exactly what I said. They don't know their customers. They are out of touch with what customers want. Now, when it comes to like how much data they can have, if you're on the AT&T or T-Mobile, that is outside of Boost control. People do need to understand that. Okay, that's out of their control. They don't dictate how much data you could use on another rival's network, because T-Mobile is Boost Mobile's rival. AT&T is a rival to Boost Mobile. They don't dictate how much data you can use, so that's beyond their control. But on their own network, their Boost 5G network, as Sneed said earlier, because it was also shown on Stetson's video where he was comparing the $25 plans. And I guess if you're on native Boost 5G, you do get 100 gigs of data instead of 30. But again, like I said, they need to build out more coverage. That's all I would say. Let's launch the map. Welcome to Dish in Phoenix, Arizona. That is pretty bad. Absolutely bonkers. Let's back out. Now, this is not an accurate depiction of Dish 5G. This is just for those people who use the coverage map. Those that use a coverage map and do speed tests, this is what they were able to report. And upon closing, that's something that I do want to ask, honestly, before I close out this podcast. But coverage map, an app that you can use to do speed tests instead of Ookla. They have a speed tester on the iOS app. They said there was one coming to Android, but it's still not here yet. What happened to that? Because I remember they were going to give away an iPhone for those that downloaded the coverage map and entered a drawing to win an iPhone. And they were going to do one for Android, but possibly a Samsung Galaxy device. And they were like, Android speed tester within the coverage map app was coming soon. And then nothing. I haven't heard nothing. Have any of you? Has anyone heard if they're going to actually do it? I would really love to know. Anyways, ladies and gents, thanks for watching today's podcast. I appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out with me, leaving comments. Thank you to Sneed, Georgia San Joaquin Valley, Titus. Thank you to Robert and for sharing that link to the Q-Link CEO and the issue that happened. Gil Elman, thank you for coming in. Joseph Brennan, thanks for popping in and hanging out. B-Tech Reviews, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. Suzanne, thanks for coming in as well. Nguyen Dang, thanks for popping in and hanging out, man. Appreciate that. And Walter Scott Jr., thanks for popping in here. I appreciate all of you guys for coming in and hanging out this very fine Sunday. We are getting close to Thanksgiving. I am so happy. Whoa. I feel like SpongeBob. Woo! Thanksgiving, man. Oh my God. I have family coming over to have dinner and hang out. We're going to throw a nice bonfire in the backyard and have some hot cocoa and s'mores and just hang out and talk. I love being around family and talking. So, pretty awesome. Yeah. For those that catch the replay, #replay crew and everybody, drop in. What are you having for Thanksgiving dinner this year? I would love to know. Traditional, non-traditional, it doesn't matter. No judgment. I don't care. I don't care if you're going to make a Vegas style buffet for your dinner on Thanksgiving. Do let me know. I'm a big foodie, okay? That's the reason I'm fat. I'm fat for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fat. Okay? I love food, okay? Yes, I know I'm type 2 diabetic. I shouldn't be talking that way. But you know what? Fuck it, man. You only live once and it's Thanksgiving. Okay? I spend majority of the year trying to watch what I eat. I'm not doing that this week. I was told I have a rainbow sim, but I don't get native boost on my Pixel 9 Pro XL. Anyone have similar experience? So you know what? That is something that I've seen. Sorry, I didn't see your message, but that is something that I have seen people talk about. If and the way that it goes is if the signal is so weak because it doesn't want to sap your battery up, it doesn't want to drain out your battery. If the signal is that weak that it causes a lot of power consumption, you will automatically default switch to the AT&T network connection. That's probably why. So if as Boost continues to build out their network and upgrade their towers, you may see a change in the future. But carne asada, no turkey here. Ooh. Now, are you making it yourself and you got like the big flat top grill that goes outside, gas powered? You're just going to throw like all the carne on it and just bang it up with the spatulas and seasoning and everything? Non-traditional, unfortunately. So what's that mean? I don't care. I'll tell you guys what I'm going to be doing Thanksgiving Day, okay? While the food is cooking. And no, I'm not going to air this on YouTube. I don't do this for recognition. I don't do this for, I guess the kids call it clout. I sound so stupid when I say that. I think I'm talking about cloud. But anyways, I'm going to go find me somebody that's on the streets that's hungry. And I'm going to bring them food. Not just some piece of shit sandwich or whatever. No, I'm going to make their fucking day by bringing them. I'm probably going to go run off to like either Church's Chicken or KFC and get like a 12-piece box and like 3 sides and some plates. I'm gonna find a person out there that's living on the streets. I'm gonna give them that to eat. They can find some friends if they have friends and share the meal with them, and they can all sit down together and have a Thanksgiving meal. I mean, for God's sakes, they don't have a home to live in. They're out here wandering the streets and it's gonna be cold. Everyone deserves to have a fucking Thanksgiving meal, the same as I myself and a lot of us will on that day. So I'm gonna go do that Thursday morning, and like I said, you guys are not going to see it. I'm not going to go post it or anything like that. I don't give a shit if people believe me or don't believe me. I don't give a shit if people want me to prove that I did it. It's not, like I said, it's not for clout. This is something I do every year. Every fucking year I find somebody in need and I give them a hot meal and a big enough meal that they can share with 2 or 3 more people with them. And the reason why is that even if they don't know the other homeless person, but they're willing to share their meal with them, and they sit down at like a park to sit down at a bench and eat, it brings them together with people that they can have a meal and talk and have the same feeling of what I'm going to be feeling, having family over, eating and talking and laughing and being joyful and festive. Like, honestly, I talk passionately about this because I'm sick of the fucking world and people being greedy about things. And like, you could walk by somebody who absolutely needs help and never fucking bat an eye and walk past them. I don't expect everybody in the world to donate things, right? You know, but sometimes people can be cruel, especially in this city that I live in, can be very fucking cruel. And I've said this so many times, and I know this is why, like, if I play the lottery, I don't hit big on the millions, because I'm not that person that's going to win the lottery and buy me a big fucking house. I'm going to buy me a regular house. I don't need people knowing that I'm loaded with money. What I will do is help as many people as I can, getting homeless people off the streets into an apartment. I'll rent it for them for a whole year so they have somewhere to live, to get on their feet, to get out there, to find them a job, to maintain that apartment. I will buy them new clothes so they can throw their old clothes away. I'll give them stuff so they can take a shower, put food in their refrigerator so they have something to eat while they're looking for work. I would rather help give somebody a chance. And you know, the real reason that I feel that way about things is because when I was growing up and I was a troublemaker and I fucked up in life and I did stupid things, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance when it mattered. I got a chance later on down the road, but I didn't get a chance when it mattered. And it's like, why not? You know, I've heard excuses. I had people tell me, don't give that person $1. They're just going to go drink it up. I don't care if they're going to go drink it up. My God, they're already living a hard life. Like, how else more can they be kicked down? And I guess the other reason why is because when I was 18, 19, and 20 years old, I was homeless. I lived out on the streets. I did things I'm not proud of. I did things that I'm embarrassed of just to survive, just so I could eat. I mean, if my brother Ruben was in the chat, he would tell you guys, like, yeah, he knows. He and I, you know, we ran the streets. We were homeless together. That's why he's my brother. He's not my biological brother, but he's my brother. You know, we've dug food out of trash cans. I've eaten, you know, warm mac salad and got stomach aches off of it because, you know, the plate lunch was sitting in the hot sun for hours. But I was so hungry, I went and ate it. You know, I know what it's like to be homeless. I'm not blowing smoke up anyone's ass. I know what it's like to be homeless. You know, there was like an old abandoned parking lot under the Pearl Kai Shopping Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. You guys can Google search the photos of it. I lived underneath there in an abandoned parking space. Slept there at nights. Roamed around trying to survive the day. And people would be like, oh, you're in Hawaii. That's like paradise. Yeah, it is like paradise. But when you got meth heads all over the place because there's a pandemic of crystal meth use in Hawaii, when you got, you know, other homeless people fighting for territory to be able to survive, it can get bad. I mean, y'all don't believe me? Google search Hawaii's homeless epidemic. Shit, there's like beaches that I used to go to as a kid that I used to swim at. You can't swim there no more. It's become a tent city full of a lot of homeless people living in makeshift tents and stuff like that because a lot of people lost their homes. This is why I'm so adamant about helping those that are homeless. I can care less if you drink beer. I can care less, you know, if you drink wine. You know what I mean? But I will help. I will help with $1 here and there. And this Thursday, Thanksgiving, I'm going to find somebody to make sure that they have a Thanksgiving meal like me. You know what I mean? Because we're all human at the end of the day. We all breathe the same air. We all bleed the same way. So why can't they have a Thanksgiving if I'm going to have one? That's all. I said my piece. That's all I'll say on that. I love you guys very much. Be safe this holiday. Love you guys. I'll drop some videos this week. For videos, no live stream this week. Just be with your family, okay? You know, Wednesday will probably be the last day that I upload a video. Don't expect anything for the rest of the week because I want you guys to be with your families and focus on your families. And I love you guys. You guys are my extended family. So, yeah, be safe out there. Happy holidays. Love you guys very much.